So I made a post on Instagram about 3 days ago, and the post was about the former president almost getting assassinated and asking to pray for him. And I posted this about 5 minutes after he was shot. We didn't know if he was alive. We didn't know anything. It was like it happened so fast, and all I did was instinctively post to ask people to pray. And over the next few hours, I got thousands of comments, thousands of likes, but comments started coming out that people were saying, I wish they wouldn't have missed. I wish they would have killed him. They were hoping that he would die. And just sick, vulgar things. And I lost over 5,000 followers over that following 24 hours. And I was getting just horrible, horrible DMs from people that had likely followed me for months, maybe even over a year. And the main reason that I want to come on and actually say this publicly is we're at a weird time in American history where we have access to more information than ever before, which is a beneficial thing, but it can also be a curse in some capacity, because the majority of Americans are misinformed and oftentimes uninformed, because traditionally everyone has got their source of information from the mainstream media, Fox, MSNBC, CNN. And what's happened is that mainstream media has pushed out agenda-based propaganda for the last 5 years. Actually, I take that back. 8 years, since 2016, maybe 9 since 2015. And time after time after time after time again, the bulk of everything that they've said about the former president has been proven wrong. Now, this is not me saying that you suddenly should support every view that he has, every policy that he believes in. What I'm saying is, if I cannot make a post without people saying that he should have been killed and wishing for someone's death, just because you don't believe in a person's policies or political views, then we have something wrong with the country. And what's scary about this is right now it might be the Republican person that happened to, but we don't want it to be another person of another party, of any party for that matter. And I've learned so much by spending time communicating and being friends and doing business with people who don't think like me, who are from different areas, who have different religions, different cultures, different political beliefs. But the one common thing I've seen in these individuals is if I have a specific view and they have a different one, we don't suddenly hate each other. We don't scream, yell, cuss, say all these horrible things and never talk to each other. We hear our perspectives, because intelligent people are open to other people's ideas that may not match ours. And they may be right. You've seen so many people over the last few years come around and change their political beliefs because, thank God for certain social media sites like X, where freedom of speech is accepted. It's given people a platform to freely speak their ideas. And the biggest test of freedom of speech is listening or being open for someone to be able to freely speak their mind, their ideas, their objective, their goals, when you don't believe in it. Everyone is okay with freedom of speech when they believe the same thing that you do. But can you support it when someone is talking about something that makes you uncomfortable or you don't agree with? And I'll give you, and I don't want to go full-fledged political and all this and start talking about policy and all these different things. But I can tell you, since Barack Obama was elected, this is in 2008, I followed the election and politics of every moving part, Democrat, Republican, the midterms, the presidential election, from House, Congress, Senate, and the presidency, and many local elections as well. I had tried to become the most open-minded person ever, and so much so that I've been open to even going to events of opposing political views that I don't hold, because I wanted to make sure that I'm listening to other perspectives and I'm not being put in a box to believe a certain thing because of where I'm from, who I'm around, family, whatever. And I've looked at every single moving part about what drives the country to do certain things: foreign policy, the economy, social issues. And there has never been a more important election ever. And the biggest thing that I can tell you guys on the Republican side currently is that Trump is bigger than any policy or any political party. There's been a few presidents and people in history that the establishment of both the Democrats and the Republicans, and potentially independents, have either hated or gone against with everything they had. Like I said again, this has nothing to do with being a Republican on why the media has gone after this man so strongly. He is against the establishment. What we don't realize is that the bulk of the government, no matter what happens on any election cycle, stays the same. The only thing that changes is the administration and the head people at all the departments of the United States government. Department of Justice, Homeland Security, all those things. And so it's a small group of individuals that are moving in and out of public office. And yes, they're the main operators and policymakers, but the bulk of the government is ran by people who've been there for a long time. Likely some really great people, and maybe likely some people that probably shouldn't be there. But when you go against the base establishment and the way that the system is and the power and the strongholds that are set up currently, it's a big risky thing. And the last person to do that, really, was John F. Kennedy. And we know what happened with him. So it's important, and the reason why I'm saying these things is this is a time that the United States needs to unify, not in that we all agree about everything, but understand that we're all Americans and it's okay that we're different. That's what makes us great. That's what's made us so successful, that we can have all these different people come together and create some of the best products, services, businesses, and life-changing decisions and incredible things that we've innovated over the years to alter the world. And that was despite our differences. Republicans and Democrats were both extremely essential and did incredible things. And while it went from right to left and this idea to that idea, so many things, the slaves would not have been freed if it wasn't for a Republican. Civil rights movement wouldn't have ended if it wasn't passed by a Democrat. There's so many different things. And I can go down the line. There's so many great things that both Democrats and Republicans have had and have accomplished. But my thing is that we have to start listening to the policymakers, to people that you don't agree with, not being initially triggered because it's a fight or flight response because your mom or your dad or CNN or Fox or this, that, or the other told you to believe something. Question everything. Don't respond to what someone is telling you, because when someone's telling you something, it's for a reason. No different than I'm telling you this right now because I want change to happen and I'm going to use my platform to do it. I'm not telling you guys that you need to become a Republican. I'm not telling you guys you need to become a Democrat. I want you to become a free thinker and at the same time respect other people who don't hold the same views as you. One practice that I do regularly is, naturally, I'm typically a conservative person. I vote Republican in most capacities, but every single time I hold a belief, I go out of my way to find the counter argument. And then I look at that individual's actions that they're actually taking behind it. Because words are a facade, Republican, Democrat, Independent. But if you don't follow the actions that they've taken behind it, it's going to be difficult to see what the true motive of what they're doing and what they're saying. And this is on both sides. This is just human nature. So if you always listen to Fox, you should also listen to CNN. If you only read conservative news information or conservative creators or people on social media, business leaders, you need to also listen to liberal ones to hear both sides, because there's always some type of common ground. But society has started to reward attention over merit. And we can engage in debate and conversation and not hate the individual and not threaten violence or vulgar words or low blows at people. And if you're listening to this and your first instinct is to go, you're saying this about a person that did this and this and this and this, this, you're already off on the wrong foot. Because we can say this about the right, about the left. You can find something somewhere that someone said. My message has nothing to do with trying to get someone to vote this way or that way. It's just to use your critical thinking skills, your brain, and don't just listen to what someone's telling you, including me. Question everything and go seek real factual information and then backlog it and backtrack all of that words, that speech, what's on their website, the thing that they posted, the thing that they tweeted, and back it with actions that actually relate to that prove what that person is saying. So this is the same for business. This is the same for relationships. Invest time around people who think differently than you, because it'll open your mind. It'll help you get a better perspective, but they might just be right. So thanks, guys.